Good morning. I'm Cheah Rhong. Today I'll be presenting about Cushing syndrome. So in my presentation, I'll be covering on the definition for Cushing syndrome and the pathophysiology, the sign and symptom, and then the management for Cushing syndrome. So the first one, Cushing syndrome is basically the prolonged exposure to the steroid hormone, which is cortisol. And cortisol is a type of hormone that is released when we are in stress. And in medical term means it's during when you're during your fight or flight state. And so these are the functions of the cortisol normal function in cortisol in our body. First, it promotes the breakdown of fat, which is in medical terms is called glycogenolysis, in order to provide more glucose and energy for us during emergency times. And then the next is bone. It reduces bone formation. To increase the amount of calcium in the blood. And then the next is liver. It also causes in liver it also functions as to increase the amount of glucose in the blood by activating the process in the gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis in the liver. And then the next is muscle. Cortisol inhibits the amino acid uptake by the muscle. And then the next is pancreas. Pancreas, it counteracts insulin. Insulin is a type of hormone that is secreted by the pancreas in order to reduce the amount of glucose in blood. So cortisol, it counteracts insulin. So in a way, it increases the amount of glucose in the blood. And the possible causes of Cushing syndrome is basically down to 3 causes. Although in the slide it's 2, but actually it's 3. One, the first is endogenous causes, which is caused by overproduction of cortisol due to neoplasm of your tissues in the organs. Neoplasm is cancer, high amount of growth of cells in an organ. And then exogenous causes is due to your external causes, factors like maybe medication intake. And then the third causes, which is not in the slides, is it's actually called pseudo-Cushing syndrome. It isn't classified as one of the main causes of Cushing syndrome. Cushing syndrome is due to the fact that it's an indirect Cushing syndrome is an indirect effect of the effect. The effect is that intake of oral contraceptive pills will induce pseudo-Cushing syndrome because it inhibits the secretion of estrogen, which is a type of hormones in the body also. So without estrogen hormones, you can't have oversecretion of cortisol. And as an example of endogenous causes, you need to have cancer at one of these 3 places to get Cushing syndrome. The first is pituitary tumor. Pituitary tumor is a type of tumor that's growing in your pituitary gland, which is located in your brain. And then the next one, adrenal tumor. Adrenal tumor is a tumor that grows at the adrenal glands, which is responsible for most of your sympathetic response, such as your secretion of adrenaline. And then the next is unknown causes, which is usually due to paraneoplastic syndrome, which means paraneoplastic syndrome is the effects that's caused by cancer and other places that's not related, but will still induce the syndrome, but it's still indirectly causing Cushing syndrome. And this is the pathophysiology of Cushing syndrome. Basically, when you have a lot of cortisol, and let's take a look at what happens with what's the effect of cortisol in the bone. So with a lot of cortisol, as I said before, it reduces the absorption of calcium into the bone. So in a way, it reduces the bone formation, and which causes your bone to be weak and fragile. It's not as tough as normal. So what happens is that you will easily have fractures, osteoporosis, and then due to the amount of high amount of calcium in the blood because of the cortisol reaction, it causes hypercalcemia, which is a lot of calcium in the blood, and then indirectly will lead to kidney stones because of the calcium, the large amount of calcium that's becoming solid, becoming calcium source in the kidney. And then the next is aldosterone, because cortisol was will induce the secretion of aldosterone. Aldosterone is another type of hormones responsible for retention of ions and minerals in the blood to maintain the blood pressure. So with increased aldosterone, you will have more ions, which directly leads to more water retention in your body, and then thus causing your weight gain and your increased blood volume. And then the next is immune suppression. As we all know, cortisol is a type of steroid hormone, and steroid hormones, they have an anti-inflammatory effect, which means that they inhibit inflammation. So when a person has no reaction of inflammation towards any infection or whatsoever, it means that their immunity system is suppressed. So basically, cortisol will cause immunity suppression. And then cortisol also affects the CNS, and it will cause irritability, emotional turmoil caused due to the imbalanced amount of hormones in the body. And then the next is loss of collagen due to cortisol causes the loss of collagen, which causes thin skin, purple striae, skin breaks, ulcerations, and sometimes scar formation. And then the loss of connective tissue, such as collagen, will increase the risk of blood vessels to rupture. And then they also have increased androgen production, because androgen is another type of steroid hormone, and so it's a sex hormone. And then which causes oversecretion of androgen will causes gynecomastia, which is a type of enlargement of breasts in males. Layman is man boobs and boobs. Alright. So and also it causes central obesity, acne, and sexual dysfunction. These are the main symptoms that I have. And then the next is increase in vascular sensitivity to catecholamines. Means that with cortisol will causes them to be more sensitive to stress hormones like adrenaline, and which indirectly causes hypertension. And then the next would be, as I said before, it will causes cortisol will increase the amount of glucose in the blood, which causes hypoglycemia. And then the next is proteins breakdown, because during our stress moment, our body will break down most of the stuff into smaller components in order to have substance ready to heal the body as soon as possible. And these are the signs or symptoms. And based on the pathophysiology, we can already deduce the symptoms that's going to present on the person. In males, they'll have gynecomastia, weight gain, mood phase, and then emotional disturbance, and also have gastrointestinal distress, weak bones, osteoporosis, and then on the same skin, they'll have thin skin and purple striae. And then the treatment and management for it, basically there's four. The first one will be stop the treatment. So if any patient that's diagnosed with Cushing syndrome is taking any drugs that is steroids, that is corticosteroid drugs, so it means that the doctor have to stop the treatment for the patient straight away in order to prevent stop Cushing disease. The next one will be surgery. Surgery is to remove the tumors that's present in our body and in the patient's body, and to prevent the oversecretion of cortisol. And then the next is radiotherapy. Radiotherapy is when surgery cannot be done on the patient to remove the tumor, so radiotherapy is used to remove the cancer cells. The next will be medications. Now the next slide I will explain more about medications. So the example of medications to use to curb the production of cortisol would be ketoconazole, Lipoten, and metoprolol, these are the drugs to control the excessive production of cortisol. These are the YouTube videos for education, for more information.